You know what I mean? But I still got to deal with the, deal with my environment. I got to deal with these dams, and I've got to deal with, again, making sure that I have money somewhere in the middle of next year, so that, again, by the time the work, it's always the same each year, right? So it's not like I can just cut to the city. I don't have a vehicle reliable enough to travel to the city for work, and I'm not going to move to the city, obviously. Like, I've already lived in the city, like, 20 years out of half my life, and you don't get any richer there. So if I'm going to be poor, I'd rather be somewhere I'm in nature and enjoying myself and all that, and doing stuff like this. And as you watch this series, you're probably going to start to understand what we've lost in connection with the land, and that the reason why we have all these corporate stuff and all these people that are all, mentally ill and all that, is because they don't do enough of this. And you got people that think they're animal rights activists and stuff like that, and they've never been out here. You know what I mean? They can't tell me what tracks they're walking by, or what that sound is in the bush. They can't do that because they don't, they're just an ideological response and an emotional response to everything without any thinking whatsoever. And when you watch this series, one of the things you're going to get out of it is how all these little things that you're going to learn over time. I'm not going to just give you lesson after lesson after lesson. I see a lot of bushcraft channels do that, where do this, but they don't tell you why you're doing it. Like, they're telling you how to do stuff and whatever, but when would you use this? This is why you got guys out there batoning knives all the time, and it's like, you would never do that. Even with a knife like this, I can take it with the blood on it. That's pretty savage. It's a good work knife. But I'm still on the original sharpening. I've had this thing for over 5 years, I'm sure. 5, 6 years, however long I have. 10 years, maybe. Good work knife. That knife should last, especially in this day and age. I got 2 old knives, for example. I'm going to do a review on them. They're probably about 100, 200 years old, some of these knives. One was my grandfather's, another one was another relative's. And after they died, I ended up with these knives. And those knives were nowhere near built to the level of stuff that we built today. Where the hell did that come from? Somebody left me a heart. I guess that was that was part of my bullseye. You never know what you're going to see on a trap line. But anyway, those people kept those knives up and running with like nothing, and it was like all mild steel, or what do you call it, carbon steel and everything like that. There was no stainless or anything like that they were using back then, and those knives are still up and going because they took care of them. That's why. And something like this, if you take care of it, if you do what you see, like I say, the man, not dissing the guys at all, but the Man versus Wild and the Ray Mears and what you call it, like Bear Grylls type stuff, you're just going to break everything you have. And if you had to survive on it, in a doomsday, you got to make that knife last forever. You know what I mean? And then you pass it down to your heirloom. So it's all how you take care of stuff, and that's what you're going to get out of this kind of series, is that it's not extreme, it's not flashy. The idea is that this is how you do it without damaging things. Like, not everything has to be Hollywood, and exciting and stimulating. Sometimes tranquil and just, watching the water just stagnate sometimes is just fun. So anyway, I'm going to check my traps, and yeah, there we go.